Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. And I'm filthy already because we've been out in the garden. We have been picking the tomatoes still. I've got an entire container of tomatoes. Isn't that awesome? So it's super breezy out today, which is actually pretty nice. And we've got some cleanup just because I'm going to be amending the beds and getting them ready for future growing. We're coming into the summer months, and so I need to start getting some stuff cleaned up. My tomatoes are somewhat dying back. I did do a rotation of tomatoes, so I do have some that are still coming in, but I have some like weirdness going on with the cabbages. All right, so this is a giant cabbage. Like it's huge. Like here's my hand compared to it. It's very large. But this one over here is not doing as well. I think it's just overcrowded in this small little space, and you can see in the back here that I have some fennel growing. So, you know, I gotta get this kind of cleaned up because you can see that over here it's starting to get like, over here it's starting to get eaten by some bugs. And when I went around to the other side of the garden, yeah, you can see like this tomato needs to come out. It's all brown. I have very few tomatoes left. I'm gonna be pulling that today and cleaning that up. I still have a little bit of kale back there. This one, it's still got a little bit of production. It's got some nice green foliage, so I may end up keeping that one. It is in the shade. I've got, that looks like a squash coming up there. It's, like I said, it's very breezy today. Here are potatoes. Those potatoes actually came up, which is nice. I have some onions back here. This is the moringa, the tree of life. It's a dwarf moringa, so I will be leaving that in the bed. I don't think I'll be transplanting it, but we'll see as time goes on what I want to do with that. I have a few carrots lined up, not really a big deal. And then I've got this tomato back here that I was picking from today, and the squirrels were getting into it. So the squirrels have been just tearing up these beds, so they're a nuisance, but you know, it is what it is. And oh yeah, over here, I came over here for a reason. Look, I've got aphids everywhere on this area, so I'm gonna have to start cleaning this up because look, they're just infested. Aphids. This is what happens in the summer here, especially when you're trying to do stuff naturally. So if this is a sacrificial area, so to speak, where the, you know, the aphids are just taking over, I'd rather them take over that than my tomato. This tomato was a tomato that I planted a little later, and so it is doing pretty well. I just obviously did a bunch of picking. You can see we've got this, you know, powdery mildew stuff. You know, it just takes over here because it gets so hot and it's just crazy around here. This bed needs to also be amended because you know, you're starting to see that it's sinking. There's a nice like space and gap back here on this side, so I've definitely got at least you know, I'd say it's a good solid 4 inches of mix that I need to do. Now my mix is, when I'm amending these beds over here, you can see that I have some bags of topsoil, and then I always have the black cow, so I'll be taking the black cow, I'll be mixing it in with the topsoil, and then I'll be also turning that in with some perlite, because remember here, you don't want to smother your roots because it's so moist oftentimes that your plant will obviously end up rotting or getting the powdery mildew, and so you try to keep it as healthy as you can for as long as you can. So I'll also be taking some compost that I have over here. These seeds are completely dry, so I'll be taking those seeds and I will be like tearing them down, you know, picking them off and doing what I need to do. This tree's like definitely, you know, done producing its mulberries. All right, so down here, this is the radish bed. And you can definitely see that we have got some radishes. So I need to come in and start cleaning this bed out. So check that out, we've got some radishes. And so that's what I will be doing today, is getting these radishes out, because I'll probably be doing some like pickling probably starting tomorrow. I'll start taking these out and getting them ready for some, I like to do that Korean pickled radish recipe. I don't know if I've done it with you guys yet. If not, I will take you along and I will make that video with you. So you see, some of them, it was an overcrowded bed, so you're gonna get these little small like radishes. I just put them out for the compost, but other than that, I'll be picking a bunch of radishes, or as many as that are available, that's for sure. You know, you can eat the radish tops too. So I think they're a little harder on the gut, but so yeah, so we'll see what comes out of this bed. But that's how it happens, is I start coming out here to the garden and I start pulling stuff out, and then you guys never get to see this harvesting piece. So over here, I am definitely going to be cleaning this bed up. Pretty much you can see that the bed's like kind of getting drier, and these tomatoes are basically, they are done. It's like brown, it just all needs to be cleaned up. It's super brown over here. So I will be taking this entire bed out. These tomatoes are the variegated tomatoes. I'll go ahead and finish cleaning that up, and then I will start amending this bed. I honestly have no idea what I'll be putting in this bed yet, but for sure it's got to get cleaned up so that when we go into the summer months, like true hot heat, you know, just killing everything, I want to make sure the beds are good. Now if it gets really hot around here, what I will end up doing, which can cause ants sometimes, is I will take some like mulch that's not had any pesticides or has not got any chemicals on it, and I will start amending the tops of those beds with that. So it's going to be a busy day today out in the garden. It's nice and breezy, thankfully. So that's what we will be doing. I have some dill that's been coming up, which is nice. Oh, let me show you guys this. I still have the kale producing over here, which is great. And then I didn't want to make this like a long video, but you can see, you see the powdery mildew is starting to get on my squash already. So there it is, it's getting on the squash. Oh, there's actually a potato there. I planted some potatoes over here just because I wanted to see how they would do. And that is actually a potato. So I got to come in here. It's a constant job to be out here just weeding in the garden and cleaning up and trying to take care of stuff. So I'll probably end up pulling this one out because this one definitely looks like it's not doing anything. It did get hit in the storm. It got crushed by another plant that was here, so I really didn't know if it would start growing. But what is super nice, see, I have some topsoil that I'm just going to be doing because it's got, my beds have quite a bit of nutrients to them. But look at all the squash. Isn't that lovely? Right here in this plant alone, oh, this one's got like a blossom end rot to it, so I need to get that one out because it's not going to do anything. Or it could have a worm that pierced it. Oh yeah, look, there's a wormhole. So, you know, that's the sad part about living here, is that if you don't really kind of heavy pesticide and you're trying to do things naturally, it is a pain in the tail, and you're going to be experiencing bugs getting into your veggies, that's for sure. It's so moist, and look at that, that's so nasty. So that's how I've been out here getting super dirty today, just growing. But yeah, so look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squash that are coming up, and there's one back here, which is awesome. There's one right there. So and here's some mustards that have gone to seed. So I kind of left those as like a distraction, hoping that my squash wouldn't get attacked. And that's the thing, is I always get excited when I get a little bit of squash or zucchini, because the months that I'm growing that squash and zucchini in, what ends up happening is that you get this like influx of bugs that are obviously coming in for the spring, and they will just destroy your garden. Just because they destroy my garden, because I try to do everything naturally. So I'm gonna go ahead and just be cleaning up today. That's not necessarily something I want to be taking you guys on, because it's just a lot of work, and you know, just ripping this stuff out. I'm just in here by hand, just mostly pulling out all these vegetables that are just going, you know, away. But what I might end up doing over here in this bed is, I'm thinking about, because I do have some more tomatoes, is just getting maybe some tomato cages, which I do have some, but I don't have enough. I guess one of the squirrels dropped a tomato in the bed in my sweet potato bed, and look, there's a whole bunch of tomatoes growing out of one little pocket. So I'm going to end up separating these tomatoes out. I don't even know what kind of tomato it is, so it's going to be a mystery tomato, and I am going to end up just you know, just separating them and just making use of what we got. If this year is just an abundance in tomatoes, then you know what, then we're still blessed. So food is food, and I'm grateful for anything that I'm getting out of the garden that's not getting attacked by aphids or something else. So that's on the plans for today, is just to continue growing. I got some papayas up here that also need to come out. There's more, I don't know, but there's definitely a bunch more that need to come out. So I'll be working on that today. So all right, everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This is just a really brief update of like what's going on for today. It's, you know, it's always busy here. Even if you have like a smaller garden, you've always got to stay on top of it. So this isn't, you know, something that you can just plant and walk away from. Not here in Florida. There's always so much to do, and you know, you just got to do the best you can to try to keep up with everything. So I'm just hoping for those potatoes to start coming in, sweet potatoes and the regular potatoes that we had purchased. I told you guys that I would keep you on that journey with me. And yeah, so we're going to start getting cleaned up, and I will bring you back at some point, and I will show you what I got growing in the garden and what I've started shifting around and cleaning up in these beds, because like I said, we're coming into those very, very, very hot months, and you know, when you don't want to be outside, your plants don't want to be out there with you either. So you know, they get hot and want to die. So cleanup day today, that's for sure. So all right, everyone, maybe I'll shoot a video. Planes, y'all know I always get plain. Shoot a video on what I'm going to do with this cabbage, because it's just not a big cabbage, and I only have like one or two sitting right there that are left over from the season. So I don't know, I'll probably just I don't know, I'll think about it. I don't really like doing like fried cabbage or anything, but so I may just put it in some water and just boil it and just eat it that way. I've done some ferments with cabbage, so who knows, but that's what's on the agenda for today. All right, everyone, until next time, love one another, be kind, and I will see you all in my next video. You know, I've been out in the garden today, been just killing it, getting everything done, trying to strip these beds down so that I can add all these amendments. And the other day, I wanted to show you what my white hibiscus looked like, and it was not blooming. Until now, check it out. This is one of my favorites because it's just white and it's got that beautiful red right there in the center. I think this is one of the most beautiful hibiscus. I just love it. I think it's just amazing. Plants are just beautiful and so amazing. So there's only one bloom right now, but I just wanted to share that for you guys as the extra bonus for today.